Welcome, everyone, to tonight's Hookup with Real Estate Masterclass. We have a very special guest, Luis Castillo, here tonight, and I will introduce him in just a minute. But first, we have to do some housekeeping. So I will ask Ken, would you mind reading the disclaimer?
We appreciate you attending the Hookup with Real Estate Masterclass. We are not financial advisors. The content we provide is strictly for educational purposes and not intended as legal, financial, or investment advice. Nor is it a solicitation for funds. Remember, participation in this program is at your own discretion. Real estate markets are subject to change and can be dynamic. Hook Up with Real Estate and its representatives are not liable for any outcomes resulting from the information provided or engagements with third-party providers. Seek professional advice before making any real estate or investment decisions. By attending, you consent to this event being recorded and understand that internet security is not absolute.
Thank you. All right. So I'm Donna, that's Ken. We are Hook Up with Real Estate, and our mission is to empower aspiring and early real estate investors with exceptional education, invaluable skills training, and genuine opportunities to invest in real estate while simultaneously sharing strategies that guide you towards success in real estate and away from costly mistakes, as you'll learn in a bit. We made our own share of costly mistakes early on, and they are documented in the book, Real Women in Real Estate, Volume 1, which is available on Amazon, or I can share a signed copy with you. Okay. Ken is also a licensed realtor in Northern New Jersey. He's a veteran and also a tile contractor. So if you need a referral or you need to, or if you're looking in this area, this is his website, kenneth-hook.weichert.com. Okay, we are powered by Legends Equity Group. And they have a stages call every Monday, so you can get additional, or every other Monday or twice a month Monday, depending. They just changed their schedule, so just keep an eye out on that. And they also have additional skills training. So we like to promote skills training, which you can find on school.com/real estate club. It's a great community, to continue the conversation. They are hosting a great a breakthrough program, which will be held in Salt Lake City, July 25th, 6th, and 7th. It is a bit about real estate, but it's more about, transformational personal development. I will be attending, so I hope to see you there. And I did want to mention that we're partnering with Core Tax Deeds. If you're interested in learning more, the website is invest.coretaxdeeds.com. This is a crowdfunded platform, but legally I can't say any more than that. But we are earning passive income from it. Okay. Our schedule, we're here in June. We halfway through the year is just about over. Generally, we meet on the fourth Wednesday, except November and December. So let's go. There are two ways you can connect with us. We have a YouTube channel where the replay for tonight will be available there about a week after this call. You can like and subscribe, comment even if you like. And then you can join our Facebook group as well. Ken, would you read the quote of the day?
Lessons in life will be repeated until they are learned. Anonymous.
Thank you. All right, now we get to the good stuff. I'm going to introduce our special guest, and I'll stop sharing and we'll continue from there. So Luis Castillo is a highly successful entrepreneur, real estate investor, and global trade expert. Originally from Nicaragua, he immigrated to the United States and built a successful career, transitioning from a flower industry to real estate and international trade finance. He's the founder of Global Trade Insurance Corp, and he's recognized as one of EXIM Bank's top producers. He also delivers business seminars globally in places like Argentina, Chile, and one upcoming in Turkey. And he's also held leadership roles in various business associations. Luis has been awarded the highest civilian recognition by U.S. Congress for significant contributions to business and community development. His real estate spans multiple regions, and he resides in Miami with his family and wife of over 40 years. And he's also working on a book, which is coming out on July 1st, called The Entrepreneur Toolkit 70 Lessons for Turning Vision into Reality. Tonight, we are thrilled that Luis will share his expertise on the 5 mistakes you don't want to make as a real estate investor. Please help me welcome Luis.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, Dana and Ken. I see you all the time. I know you're making a difference and almost everywhere, especially in the Alex Love. So let me just share a PowerPoint that I came up with. I used to make it simple. Um, Let me see. I have to start sharing, I guess, right here.
Yes, you
Yeah.
should be able to. It's coming up.
Um, yep. Uh, Here you go. I should be right here. And okay, here we go. Let me just move you guys here. So what I'm gonna what I'm gonna explain is based on my experience for so many years, and always you have to look at who is giving you the advice, who is telling you the different experience. I believe that you have to listen for the experience, the people who survived a crash during the year. That's very important because when there is a huge impact on the whole country, like 2008, that's when you see what really who is a strong person here that can survive. So I started in 1990 in real estate. I became a broker, realtor, mortgage broker, and then I closed like so many deals selling properties, and then I expanded with the internet due to to see more opportunity with the U.S. government doing international loans. So that's what I move on. 2008, that's when the crash happened, 2004, 2008. So I was at that time investing in Brazil in multifamily. I was investing in U.S. and land development, also commercial building. Guess what? All those went to hell. And what happened is I have to negotiate with my partners who takes what. We at that moment you have to just say, okay, what you're gonna get, what I'm gonna get. I mean, it's a hard decision. So I'm glad that it was everything good. So my property that I have in Brazil, I was lucky that I took me a while to sell it, but because the currency exchange, I got 3 times the revenues of what I invested. So after that, I kind of got a bad flavor from real estate. So I kind of say, okay, take it easy. So at 2008, I started growing my other company. That's what grew up a little fast. But 2021, after COVID, I said, you know what? I want to come back to real estate, but I want to come back way bigger than I was before. So that's when I started with RE Mentor. I took the classes. And within a year, I closed 100 units. And then after that, I was also growing my other company, and I became an advisory council member for the U.S. government. And also 2023, invested in some property in Nevada. I got the award that Dana was telling. So what is all that means? If you see in red, look at the year when somebody started. What is the person has been doing for all those years? What I've been doing all those years is a risk mitigation, risk control. I'm very careful. Maybe it's bad. You have to measure yourself because too much risk. You have to have some flexibility. But at the end, due diligence is what is in my blood because that's what I've been doing for so many years. So when I got into this property, obviously that's where I got involved. Now it's important. These are some books that I read. It's important that what kind of property you're gonna invest. It all depends. So burnouts, landlord, poor management, repairs, vacancy. Those are all multifamily, but also you have other assets. So it's whatever it is I'm gonna show here, it might not apply to other assets. So you gotta be careful. So and different option you have. So whatever I said here, it might not apply because it would be like a full class that's going to take a whole year, or perhaps you want to read some books like David Lindell, which is becomes one of my mentor early days. I've been in his office so many times. So it means that I stay close to the big eagles, to the eagle that flies very high, that you get a lot from them. All right, so those are the different properties. So I want to use to close that. Not necessarily my work for the property you're looking for. Whatever we do in multifamily had nothing to do with single family. Donna and Ken, the expert on that, I know for a fact. So, so what are the five big errors that you want to steer clear of or not to do the mistake? CapEx plus CapEx. I'll explain what I mean by that. Assumptions, big deal. Cap rate, there are two cap rate in, cap rate out. And then what is the team that is in control of the business? And then the one that I learned in my last property, the 1 year curve. People they don't take that in consideration.
Hmm?
So, yes,
No,
this
it's
is start.
Donna's thing, but I
Yeah, so what I mean with CapEx plus CapEx, the bank will ask for CapEx. That's for repairs that usually bank for $250 to $300. What do we do in every property? And everybody should do. And you want to look into that. When you're going to invest, you want to see what are the reserve. How much CapEx they have. What do we do normally? We add $1,000 per unit, regardless. If the amount of units are less, you want to put more than 1,000, of course. This is for 100 units or more. So in this property we added $100,000. So that was our own capex. That was not the capex from the bank. Most of the time, because people they don't have reserve, use money that you're gonna have left for anything that could happen because so many things that could happen on the property. That's the
Okay,
number
could
one.
you explain? Wait, go back. Some people might know what CapEx is, right? Because so could you
Yeah,
just
capex is what the
explain?
bank asks. So normally, if it's a property that is new, like a 1990 and newer, it's gonna be about $250. That's like a rule that they have. Anything older is 300. What is that for? Is repairs that they're gonna find on the property. Let's say the payment need to be repaired. So the bank's gonna ask for that money for them to hold it. So now, after you do the closing, the bank's gonna do an inspection. And after they go through the whole inspection, it's gonna say you're gonna repair this and this and this and this. Once you repair that and that and that, I'm gonna give you the money back. So then you request for the capex back. And also the bank will ask every month, they're gonna start getting extra money, which is for capex. So the bank is already helping you to have a reserve, but you get your reserve back when you do those repairs. So the bank is like become your partner on the saving money to repair the items that need to be repaired because the property is going to get older, it's going to have some damages. So it's like a money upfront that you have to give to the bank so the bank can ask you to repair certain stuff. So what we do is to have extra money besides that. So got it? Perfect. So assumptions. This is big one. You can make any property works of the assumption that you do. You can make up anything you want. There's some variables that you have to be careful, but some of them are assumption. So you have to verify with third parties. Let's see something simple. Cable and internet. You can have a mandate cable internet and the property. You can buy an antenna that costs like forget how much it is, but once you divide it between 80 unit or 670 units, it's going to be about 55 $60, but you can charge the tenant a little bit less than what they're charging in the area, maybe $75. Now you get a $10, $15 spread. So now that's going to be your income. But if you think about it, that's your income outside the rent of the property. That's the first assumption that you have to be careful. Those assumptions outside the rent, you don't know if it's going to happen. So you got to be careful. Uh, Occupancy, that's a assumption with the rent because your bread and butter is the rent. That's your bread and butter. That's why you have to concentrate your focus on it. What is my increase that's going to happen? Most of the Texas right now, you have to go with 2.5 increased rent. Most of them. Now, you have to do when it's a large city, it's more complex. But when it's a small city like 150,000 population, it's a little more easy to calculate. One one report it calls, I'm gonna show it to you later. It's gonna be the available and that you can get the capex even in the internet. So you can get you can call also the other places that they're renting the property. Let's say if you decide to go with a parking reserve. You say, I'm going to start asking for parking reserve. Obviously, when you do a parking reserve, is when you have like a 200 units because people they don't want to walk so long to go to their units. So you might want to do a parking reserve, but before that, you're going to call your competition. Are they charging parking reserve? If they're not charging parking reserve, that assumption is out of the way. You see, so you have to do that. No, you have to pretend also that you're like a tenant. So any assumption that you do, you call your competition and you tell, listen, I would like to have a proper, I would like to have an apartment, I would like to rent it. Tell me what is included, what is not included, how much does it cost this, how much does it cost the RUBS, which is all the utility. Those are the RUBS. You might want to say, I want to do RUBS value add. But what about if nobody doing RUBS? Then you cannot do it. You see, so you cannot assume because you think that it's going to work. You have to assume on everything that is already in place and you're under the price. So property manager, another one. You're assuming, oh yeah, that's going to be, let's say 100 units or more. Usually it's about 4%, 3.5%, the property manager. The way that we normally do is this. We call 3 property manager. And the underwriting, we use the most expensive one. Even if we're going to choose the cheapest one. But for the underwriting, you use it the more expensive. Because you don't know if the cheapest one might not work and you have to go to the expensive one. You see, so you always do the underwriting on the expensive one. When you're going to invest, you wanna see those little changes because that make a big difference. Marketing. People, they believe they don't want to need marketing. Yes, you do need a lot of marketing, and especially these days. Repairs, I mean, that's easy to control, obviously. Emerging market, how are you going to measure the emerging market? There's some tools like our indicator. We use our indicator sometimes. I'm not promoting them, of course, but there's so many other tools similar. You want to see what is the emerging market. You want to have per quarter. Sometimes if you don't have the access or you want to see the job employment, what is occupancy, you can call the employment office. How many applications do you have this month? That's a good measurement. You can go in the Huel truck to see how many trucks one way going that way. You can do so many other ways that you can have an idea to confirm your assumption. So the assumption is very big. And I think that's the most important. How these people they're gonna increase the rent. So there's way more value add on that. We're talking also the RV resort before the meeting. RV resort is a little bit different. This is not applied to that because the RV resort has so many other things that you can do, but their cost is a lot less. So you don't see like a big impact. So every asset is different. Another one, the cap
And
rate.
this is all before you buy the property, right? Is that what you talk?
Yes, before you buy it, before you put an offer. Before you put an offer, you need to have the property manager. You need to know what is it. Most of the properties, when you do the underwriting, people that send me underwriting, I say, okay, if you do the underwriting, does the number works? No. All right. It doesn't work, but let's see what the appropriate, what condition it is. Let's see. Do they have cable? Because sometimes you might get a cash on cash. I don't know if you know, but it's cash on cash replaced with the money that you have in the bank. And then you have the IR and you have the AR, the average annual rent. So if the number doesn't work, because most of the investors, they're looking 19% AR, 14 IR, and you want like a start at 3-4% cash on cash. Usually that's what most of the investors are looking for. So if the numbers, they don't work, none of them is going to work when you do the underwriting. But once you have the underwriting, you have like a when you're creating a masterpiece that you're doing like a Lego. I mean, you're putting just the body, but now you start creating the arm. Now you're creating the hat. Now you're putting all these things. That's what you do with the assumption. Can I do a parking reserve? Does this property is very long and it has 200 units? Maybe parking reserve. You said, yes, I can do parking reserve. However, I have to confirm. And when you confirm, it's important that you have a sheet that you put everything in writing. That's super important. Because when you do like a 3-4 property underwriting, or when you're looking for different investment to invest, you forget which one is which. And then you want to write it down. And so if you're looking for property, even for more reason, because you don't know what it is, so you write everything down. So the renting going up, how do you decide the percentage is going to go up? Loss to lease. Loss to lease means that you have a property comparable to you. They say yours doesn't have a pool. You have to look only for property that they don't have a pool. And you want to look for property that they're not, if it's not on the main street, you might want to look at the main street. You want to do the right comparable and see what rent price do they have there. Now, you're going to call those people and you're going to ask them that you're looking for rent. Are you going to ask them for the special? They're going to give you some special. They're going to give you some different options. So you want to put it, at least you want to get 4, 5, or 6 comparables. And you take your average, whatever rent you have in your property that you're investing, and the difference will be the loss to lease. So that loss to lease that you have, you cannot add it the first day or the first year. And I see that all the time, because there is some software that you cannot change it, and they have it that from day one, they move it all the way year one. No. Remember that you have, let's say, not 90 units. You have 90 units. You're going to increase the rent, and you're going to put pressure on the people. So what does that mean? 3 things. First, people, they're going to leave because you put in pressure. Second, you're going to have a gap of property not renting. And people, they never consider that. And people, they just going to skip the rent, or they're going to stop payment. So once you increase the rent, you have to take that in consideration, because you're going to put pressure. So the way normally you do it, you can do your business plan in 3 years or in 5 years. You see somebody that you're going to invest and is doing the business plan 2 years, come on. That's mean 50% of the you're going to change it? And the 50% you're going to change it the next year? Impossible. Because all those 50, 25 is going to be off. So you can. So at least you want to do it in 3 years. So 30% the first year, 30% the next year, 30% the next year. And that's still aggressive. That's still aggressive, because 30%, at least 10, 15, they're going to go. So you're going to calculate at least 2 months that's going to be vacant, because you're going to fix it. And fix is going to take like 2 or 3 weeks. And then you're going to put it for rent. So it's going to be like 2 months. You're going to take all that in consideration. So when it's too aggressive, you got to be very careful. Now, so concessions. And this is something else that it could be a number 6, but it could be also under the assumption. I didn't put it there because he put more value on. Concession. You want to see the payables account. When you're going to invest, nobody shows that. Give me the payable account, because you want to see the concession. Now, let's see if you understand this part. I can give you a rent roll, 100% occupancy. But out of those 100% occupancy, maybe 2 months ago, I have a special of $150 move in and one rent free. What does that mean? 30 or 40 units are not paying rent. So really, it's not 100%. You see, so that's why you, and also how many people they're not paying. So you only have the account payable, but you also want to see the concessions. And the concession is a rule that is a little more complicated. Maybe another day we do some a little training or whatever, or another of this on underwriting maybe. But you have the concession. You have to be careful because has to do between the T12, which is the money, and the rent roll. Maybe I don't know if you're gonna get this. You have a rent roll, and your whole rent roll is I don't know $100,000. But when you go to the T12, which is kind of P&L, now is 80,000. So it means you're missing 20. In reality, that's about the concession together with the payable, which they're not paying. So you have to look those reports. That's one of them. So all right. So let's continue. Cap rate. Cap rate. There is a cap rate in and it's a cap rate out. Where do you get the cap rate? On the Costa report is very accurate. But also you want to ask at least 2 or 3 brokers in the area because sometimes they know enough to give you an advice. So if you have, for example, this property, a cap rate of 6%. So look at the forecast is going down. So that might give you a hint to get out of there. But how far it's going down? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Within 5 years, you have half a point. That's about what you should be on the underwriting, because this is with the cap rate. Somebody give you a cap rate today at 6%. You need to bring the cap rate higher so you can put pressure on the property on the price. So if it's at 6%, you put it at 6.5. So this means that the cap rate goes down, so it's a good news. But you want to put your cap rate up because you want to hurt the property, because you want to go against the not the worst could happen, but what about if something bad could happen? So there is a cap rate out and cap rate in. The cap rate
could you
in
just
when you pay the
explain
property
the-
is easy.
Oh, sorry. Just explain what a cap rate is. Some people might not know.
Yeah, the cap rate is if you buy a property on a cash basis, what is your return? That's basically what's the cap rate. A simple way to say it. But the point is that the cap rate, you can get it. There is another website. You can put in Google cap rate for this city, and it's going to give you like a different website. So whatever cap rate, you get a 6% cap rate. When you go on the underwriting, for each year, you want to add 0.1. So if you want to do in 5 years exit, at least you want to put 5. If it's at 6%, it's going to be 6.5. You want to see on the property they're investing that they're doing that. What they're telling you they're doing that is that they're trying to offset any problem they might have on the price. That's what they're trying to do when you do 0.1 up every year. If you do 0.20, if you put double, even better. But you want to see that because when you do the underwriting, if you lower the cap, boom, the return is higher. So that you have and sometimes when you also invest, you want to tell them, can you send me your underwriting sheet? Then you go on the cap rate and then you play with it and then you see the return. Yeah, if they send you the Excel, they should send it to you. So that's the cap rate in, cap rate out. Now, the team in control, that's super important too. And you have to keep, the team has the same vision. Arnold Schwarzenegger say that to clarify your vision, you might have a vision going to an island, but it's the same vision that you're going to a high 5 diamond star hotel in an island. Two different visions, right? Some people love Coca-Cola. You might want to have a vision of a soda, but you're getting a Pepsi, but you like Coke. You see, so everybody has to have the same vision. That's a good book from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Uh, they need to people who's connecting community. These are value that you have to be like an action there. The skill, the skill of the people, the different skill. You want to be on a skill that you feel like you're in a sandbox, that you control your community. When you're gonna go on a playground, uh, if you find it's full the playground, everybody's gonna make the same noise, so everybody's gonna be competing. But if you find somewhere that in the sandbox that is his own sandbox and is well up or well identified, that's a big difference. These are different things that you want to look into people. What I'm talking about. Work with the system. We have to. Those people they have to know how to analyze, how to raise, how to operate. I know some people they have different mindset, different idea. They said, "Oh, I do ought to raise money." Yeah, but if you don't know how to underwrite, how can you raise money? Because you're selling something that you don't know. So whoever asks you to raise money, ask if that person know how to underwrite and put it on a test. Otherwise, he's a salesperson. He's selling something that he doesn't know. There's a lot of people that are raising money. Sorry for the one that are doing that, but he's trying to be honest here. But people should know all different aspects of the operation system. They should know, not to practice, but at least they should know. Because I have sometimes deals that they send it to me and they ask me, you want to help us raise money? Send me your rent roll to T12, and I do the underwriting myself. And I said, I don't believe in this deal. And I did that many times. I rather don't raise money at all. That's why I've been quiet for about a year and a half. So the pipeline, you need to have those key consistent, Atomic Habit, Slight Edge, great books. You want to see who those people are. What is the consistent? That's where it comes. What I said at the beginning. What is the people? How many people be in 2008 and different constantly? What are you be doing for all this year? So that's what you're looking for. And the deal they have closed, that's very important. I know it's always you have the fresh one, but I'm talking about the team, not about the person. It's okay to have your team, the head person, two or three of them, the other two, they're learning. It's fine. We all start one way, right? So that's what you want to see on the team that's going to control the units. Because you might have a team of 5, but 3 of them, they control it. You see, so that's what you're looking for those 3. Now, uh, they want to have, everybody should have the financial freedom. If you don't want to do, oh, by the way, I put a shirt that say freedom. That's from Michael. But yeah, but everybody has to have the same objective, the same vision, basically. And well, this is at least the last one, the 1-year curve. When you see a property that is underwriting, look at this property. This is somebody well known in the industry, super well known. He closed so many units. I think he has like 5,000 units. What happened is this. What happened when you in life, you become confident in something that you're doing, right? You become more aggressive. He, the person, or she, the person who's the head person, he's becoming more aggressive. He's more in control. And it's more ego also because they've been closing so many units. But guess what? You're the investor. You're not. You gotta be careful. You gotta be aware. So if you look at this chart, he's one sent it to me, and I said, no, sorry, I cannot do that. I cannot raise money. Now, no concession at all. No 2.9 vacancy. Come on. And you're increasing so much money, like $90. In more than $90 here. So this is a property that we on the road. 10%. This property, this is already closed. I'm not selling the property. This is already closed. It's already funded, everything. This property, it was 5% occupancy. You know what I do when I have a property and it's 5% occupancy? I always go double vacancy, double day one, because you're gonna increase rent. Also, the first year curve, You're learning. You're gonna fire the property manager. A new property manager is gonna come. You might have two property managers on that year. It's a learning curve, like anything on life. When you start a new job, it's hard the first year, but the second year is easy. So the first year curve, nobody talks about it. It's gonna go like this, and then gonna stabilize, and then it's gonna go up. That's the idea. But you have to take into consideration. Concession usually 2%, 3%. On a 5% concession is okay. I mean, believe it or not, this property, even this way, it went down on vacancy. But I'm glad that we brought it back. But money that we put on the our capex, it was paying for the negative that we were losing. Because you don't think about this, but if you don't have money reserve, let's say if you're getting 5% of the
AV, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
AV.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you get 5% out of the deal, the property goes negative. You have to put 5%. People they don't think about it. It couldn't go the other way around. So be careful on that. That you might wanna have to come out with money, and if you don't have no money to come out with, you might have to give your share to one of your partners because somebody put in the money from you. So that's why the first one that I said, capex, is the kind of very big for me. You need to have money and reserve because so many things could happen. I want to stop here if any question because we almost finished. I only have like a 2 or 3 slides. All good? We on time? Good.
Oh
So
yeah, we have more than enough time. Does anyone have questions?
yeah,
Someone say yes. So these are great. I mean, we learned the hard way that you either need a reserve or access to capital, one way or the other. We survived the 2008 real estate debacle, and the only way we survived was using debt creatively. So
yeah.
it was stressful.
Even the single family. I mean, you want to have some money in reserve besides what the bank requires. To me, that's like the number one because that's what's gonna survive if anything negative is gonna happen. I mean, that's a number to me. That's a number one. All of them are so important too.
Yeah.
And but I had a second. I had a last one, and the last one that I have, I know we say five, but I'm gonna put the number one. Okay, I'm gonna give a story. You see that property? I was an owner of that property in Brazil. It was a castle.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a castle. It was like this inside. Would you get in love with something like that?
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Would you like to sell it? That was during the crash. This was the project. That was a huge project was involved. That's a real castle surrounded by a river and a highway. So it was even the geographically place, it was almost like a castle. What is that lesson that brings you that castle? There is one lesson. Do not get in love with the property. Get in love with the numbers. That's it. That's the big lesson that I have from that property. I felt bad. But guess what? I had to sell it. I mean, I got returned, but I sold it as a project. And they bought it as a project. But that was during the rush, during the crash, 2008. So I was losing a lot of money here and I had to sell it. And that helped me to stay my life. So as soon as we got the money, we didn't use it. So that's basically what it is. And finally, this is my book that I have. It has a little bit about real estate, but the book is about 70 lessons that I learned from millionaires. Well, now it's everybody is a millionaire. Now, and I wrote in 2017, but I didn't like how it goes. So what I did during COVID or after COVID, I review it, added some stuff, but I learned from people that super super successful, and it happened that I wrote. Usually when one of them told me that when you learn something, when you go to a training, you write down everything and you create a PowerPoint for you so you can get all the outlines. And if you're able to translate that into other language that you know, it's even better because it goes into your mind. So those are this. In reality, there are more than 70 lessons. Some of them might say lesson one, but it has more lessons. But I wanted to keep it at 70 because 70 is a Bible number when it says 70 times 7. So I wanted to keep it at 70. It has also a meaning behind. So that used to help people to get on the entrepreneurship. Basically, that's what it is. All right. So that's what I have. Um, and then if anybody has any, of course, I'm here uh, to answer.
So going back to the original slide, so what motivated you to get into real estate in the first place?
Okay, when I originally it was when I came to United States, I worked for a company, like I said, a flower company. But then I went to the higher position. So I started working at night in real estate and mortgages. So I was making more money in the other in real estate and mortgages than what they were paying me as the I was managing like 200 people on that warehouse. So I was like the general manager, was making more money at night and during the weekend. So I left that place. I would say like I got allergic of W-2. So at early age. So I never come back to work for anybody. I did very well in real estate and mortgage, but always I tell my daughters that you become like a monkey. You always have two sources of income at least, but you never let go one until you grab another one. So you always, if you end up with one, look for another one. You never know what could happen in life, and you always move to the other one. So I left the W-2. I stayed with real estate and mortgage. It's about the same business. So I said I gotta look for something else. So I started looking for something bigger. So I said let me start with this organization, which is the U.S. government. So I started doing like a very large transaction. Those in that business you can close a deal and you can get 80, $100,000 very easy commission, and also as a residual income. So I like it. I kind of like it. So and also it's your time and all that. But then I continue investing. But 2002, 2006, I even went to Brazil. So I was more international because of my government business, which is I don't work for the government, but I do deals that the government guarantee the transaction. That's basically what it is. So so during the crash, I got hit. So I said, let me take off a little bit. So that's when I came back COVID and I decided I want to go back, but I want to go back in 100 units or more. And what you put in your mind is what you're going to close. At the beginning, I said 50 unit. But I said, hold on. I said 50 unit. And the people in the school, they say, take one market or two markets. And I said, why would I take one market or two markets? Why would I go 50 units? See, at the end of the day, the sponsor is the one what matters. So it's not about me, it's about the sponsor. And we have so many sponsors there. So I said, look, I start interview all the sponsors. What area do you like? What area do you like? And then when I saw so many opportunities, I said, no 50 unit, 100 units. So I started looking only 100 units, 100 units, 100 units, 100 units, and I closed 100 units. I wish I would think about 200 units. So whatever is in your mind, you're gonna get it done. So and there's a nerves. They said rhetoric activated system RAS in your mind that if you have something in your mind and you see it every day and you're thinking every day, you might see an email, but if you don't have that every day, that email might go by and you don't pay attention. But because your subconscious is thinking every day and is looking at that picture every day, when that email comes, you will notice that email. That's a powerful nerves that we have in the back. So I put 100 units, and that was 100 units. And what we did, we were two partners. So I always competition is good. I like it. So so we start competing because we were two people with one coach. So I was sending deals to him, and then he was selling deals to him, and then we start competing, two of us, and then we saw ourselves competing. And I said, you know what? Why don't we come together? And then when we close the next deal, whichever you close, whichever I close, I mean, we just do whatever portion we share. And we did that, and we start working together. And what we did, as soon as we had one, it was always my mirror. So it means that if I have a property, I go to Donna and I say, Donna, tell me why I will not buy this property. And then he was a devil advocate. He wasn't, I don't know, why do you have this? 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 And that's the way that we used to work. So you always needed like a partner.
Hmm.
And in my book, I give a solution with a chart that I created, which is if you introvert or you don't want to have a partner to do the devil advocate, there is a chart that I took it from two books and one and the CEO of Success Magazine. CEO of Success Magazine, he did that chart, but then I took two Clockwork and Miracle Morning. They had to talk about it, so I put it all together and I created a chart between those three sources for people that they don't want to be accountable with someone else because they don't like vision. So accountable to yourself. You can measure and go, hey, I'm too short. Let me push it up a little bit. So this in my book, it gives you the solution to that. So you can use the chart and you can push yourself without having someone to push you. Because the best thing is I go to Dana, listen, Dana, if I don't make 10 calls today, I give you $100. Guess what's gonna happen? I want to make the 10 calls. Oh, there was $100. But people they don't like that. But in my book, the charge is there and explain how to use it too. But that's what we did, and that's what I got into real estate. But also, you have to learn also when you take off, because you have to measure the value of your time, and that's when I say you have two business. Sometimes the market is not flexible and it's not friendly, so you have like a take off. And I learned that from people like when you listen when they talk in Instagram is different when you talk to them in person because they're selling something, you see. But when you talk to them, they're telling you, no, I'm taking off, I'm not underwriting. And these are people that they have very good school up there. And they're saying, I'm not. But they're selling their school. But they say, I'm not looking for property. I mean, there's a guy, his name is Bob. He's here in Florida. He was for 2 years not buying property because he thought it was not the right time. And the guy is an excellent person in underwriting. He has his own software that he created, which is on a web program. But you have there is an interview that this guy, the CEO of Success Magazine, he did to Steve Jobs, to all these success people. And at the end of the interview, he said that at the end, the final result is that they become who they become because they knew how to say no.
Okay.
You see, so sometimes you have to say no. When somebody asks you for an appointment, you say no. Somebody asks me to do a meeting in downtown Miami, I say no.
You don't want the traffic?
What
It's
is the
not
point?
only about saying yes, right?
No, no,
Sometimes you got
no,
to
no.
say
Don't
no.
say yes. No, no, no. I don't go to Brickell. I don't go to downtown. I lose a business. Sometimes the time is more important in you. Yeah. So you gotta learn that. So right now, the reason I said about no because last year and a half, I say no to real estate. I said slow down. Just look some of them. We did two offer. I mean, we did one in South Carolina, one in Georgia, but I knew they was very low. It was like $1.5 million lower. We talked with the broker. It didn't work out, both of them, but it's okay. So I said, you know what? Maybe I will restore people that are not into it. Let's see what's going on there. So that's when I started changing asset, trying not to say no to real estate, but not to the asset type of asset. So sometimes, but you keep in mind, you have to learn. If you don't take coaching, don't try to learn by yourself. You have to put money into it. You have to put time into it and learn who your coach are. Find out who their coach are. Yeah.
So what made you decide to go into RV parks? Like, what was that decision about?
There is a time of my life that I said, uh, I'm gonna get in everything that is fun. It is not fun, I don't wanna get in. I'm not here to work anymore. If it's not fun, I don't go in any business. There are two rules for my business. Must be residual, must be fun. If it's not, I don't. I went to I have those and one of those properties, the commercial properties, the multifamily. I'm still doing the asset management. Believe me, it's not fun to look to a same property, to look at all the garbage for those people, how they live, and all those things. That's not fun. But imagine if you're gonna go to an RV resort, you own the property, so you're gonna stay in the cabin, and you're gonna see how the RV resort works. It wouldn't be nicer. So,
Sounds fun.
so do it. It's fun. So that's why I'm thinking more for the fun, more for the fun. So I'm still learning. I'm still in that. I took classes from David Lindau, I took classes from Bob Bowman. I did the research. I went to knock doors. So I put on the ground. So I think I'm not pretty good, but you have to close the first one. But also I'm not rushing. Yeah. So also not rushing because the rate is still up, and I believe the next time Powell will bring it down, because even Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac CEO, I mean, put a lot of pressure on Powell. The president's putting a lot of pressure. It's crazy the rate, but it's up. So I think it's going to come down. But I'm still working on it. That's the reason RV resort. Fun. How fun. Look,
How many
somebody has a
cabins
beach.
have you stayed in? Have you
Uh, no, I
have you
haven't stayed. Well, I stay in cabins. I stay in
yeah,
cabins. No in RV. Cabins.
okay.
I stay in Pennsylvania. I stay in different places in Pennsylvania. Anytime I go see my grandsons, I go to a cabin. Even they say stay here, no. So I'm always trying to go to different cabin, different parks. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, we're in New Jersey, which is next to Pennsylvania, so let
I
us
know
know
New Jersey
next.
has a lot of good places.
Yeah, but
Yes,
we're not far from Pennsylvania, so it
and you
depends
know,
where, of course.
you have
So,
you have a New York area for every resort is big.
yeah,
Yeah. If you
been a
see
few.
another day, I could share the PowerPoint about the research that I did with every resort, because remember I do PowerPoint when you learn.
Yes. Love our PowerPoint.
Yeah. So I do the PowerPoint and all the different things that I learned. I mean, this guy, I forgot the name, is on YouTube and listening. So I put like a 20 slide of PowerPoint, or like a summary, so I can always go back and look at it. And those are the research and the learning of different things that I got from every resort. Yeah, so I could share. I put it in PDF and I'll send it over so you can look at it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right. So, Javier, I know you have questions. Please.
Yes, Donna. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, at this point, Donna reads my mind. So just guys, for you to know. So thank you so much. Hey, I met the guest, Luis, with at the same time that I met you, Donna, and Luis from the beginning. I realized that he had this very humble vibe, but I knew that he was someone that knew a lot because of the way he didn't get impressed that easy with all the things that were said by Grant Cardone or other people. So I thought that, hey, maybe this guy knows a bit of things. And now I realize that he really has that back with this presentation. I realize that he really has a lot of experience. So I appreciate a lot, Donna, that you brought him. So I have two questions, Luis. So the first one is, you said that you picked for business, like fun, and what was the other thing?
Residual income,
Residual income.
or
That is
sometimes
what,
called
like
passive
income.
income.
Okay, great,
Where
great.
where residual income is different from passive income, but they're sort of similar. Passive or residual income.
Great, thank you. The other question is, you use a term which was like similar to money, which you said that T12 is like the money. What do you mean by that?
What happened? T12 is like the a profit and loss, but what they do in real estate, they break down January, February, March, all the expense of January, all the expense of February, all the expense of March. The reason you want T12 and you don't want to underwrite without T12, because you see what happened every month. What happened is January, February, March, there's no concession. What happened there? If you see that you have some repairs, April, May, June, what happened there? You see, so you see on the T12, normally the first thing that we do in underwriting, we get the T12, you have one column for each month, and the total, all expenses, income, everything, 1 month. And then you see the big numbers, you put in red, 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 red. You don't see what it is. You red, 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 red. Then you start going to the web to the on a Microsoft Word, and you start making questions to the broker. Two reasons you do. One of them, you want to know why it went up. Second of all, you want to earn the broker respect. You don't want to tell a broker, send me deals, right? No. You want to show the broker that you know what you're doing. And nothing better that you pay attention. The broker appreciate that you underwriting a property he sent you. So it's like a way to say thank you. Now the broker is going to say, hey, Javier, okay, let me put it on my phone book like it's a good underwriter. So it's going to send you the next time, or it's going to help you. So you have those two reasons when you do the underwriting. You want to ask questions to the broker. Why that happened? Why do you do that? What happened? Tell me the story about the property. Maybe sometime in the beginning, maybe they just bought it. Somebody bought it and the first 6 months it was bad, but the second 6 months it was good. Then you want to be careful why the person wants to say, oh, somebody bought it 6 months ago. Why you want to flip it so quick? I mean, that question, you have to find out. So you want to be careful on those things. So there's a reason you do that. Thank you very much for the compliment. Yeah, I'm kind of introvert sometimes, and I have to push myself to be extrovert sometimes. So, and sometimes I don't say things that people tell me you should say that. I never said before people, even in the first book the same book that I wrote, but it was the first part which is I didn't like. I didn't have about how I came to the United States. And people tell me, why you don't say that? It's my life. Yeah, we say that you can inspire people. Okay. Because I tell people in my book that I came to the United States with no money, no family support. I slept in cars because the boss left me. My first home was a room in the back of a trailer home. The bed, I got it from the backyard. And it was on a king bed that I couldn't even work in my room. So I never said those things, but somebody taught me you have to say those things. You have to say those things because you can do whatever you want in life, especially in this country. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, but sometimes I'm kind of quiet. Yeah, Cardone, I love him as a salesperson, but underwriting, I'm not into it. You need to get more into it. You using other people's money. I mean, if you're a JV, yeah, take your risk. But it's using some other people's money. You have a huge responsibility. You can't do
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can't use paper napkin underwriting. That doesn't work that way. Yeah, and he's pushing you for you to invest in his property, which is okay. I mean, anybody would do it. I have his book. It's amazing. He say no competition, domination. I love it. I mean, as a salesperson, one of the best. Now he's opening a church.
Is he really?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes yeah. But even David Lindau, when I knew about him, I went to his office. I stayed the whole day in his office with all the employees. I bought them lunch. I stayed with them. I met everyone, and I stayed with them all day. I wanted to see who they are. So you have to do due diligence who you're dealing with. Yeah. So yeah. But thank you very much for those words. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the gurus aren't infallible, as we found out. We had a guru partner before the crash, and yeah, they just walked away, said bye, these are all yours. So
Yeah.
The
that's
tough times really reveal people. That's what I'll say.
Yep. I agree. People change. There's a personality of people, but also it's in my book, the four different personalities. Sometimes called them disc.
Mm.
I call them with colors.
Yeah.
So you have to learn that because sometimes when you know the personality of the person, you understand why the behavior of that person, or maybe it's not because she mean it. So some Cardone, example, he's a blue person. We call him blue, but he's some people they don't like him, but he's the way it is. I mean, he's the way it is. Yeah. So and I understand very well, and I love his book. I love his book. Yeah. I was sad when he took off the YouTube when he was reading the 10x. I don't know you guys listen to 10x. He took it off on YouTube. It was pretty good.
Oh, it
Yeah.
might be on gctv.com.
Maybe he put it that you have to pay now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
I'm not sure. I know he reads part of it on Sirius XM.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So if anybody has
Let's see who else. Jason, you have a question? I'm sure you do.
all right, good.
One sec. Jason's going to ask a question.
Let's put in a
My
microphone.
microphone hasn't been working very well.
It's working now.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just it hurt my heart to see the castle and think that you have something like that and you have to get rid of it, you know. But it's I guess it's part of the journey, you know.
Yeah. If we would have finished that thing, it would have been another place. Yeah. It would be something different. It was a lot of fun. But it was a lot of fun. You have to enjoy what you do.
Right.
I have to do research about I have to read books about how medieval people live in their life. I went to see different spots in different part of the world. I went to see other castles. I went to Carcassonne. Carcassonne is in France, and it's the oldest castle. The oldest wall existed on an active community in a castle. So I went to see that, how the people live and all that. So it was a lot of learning. But something that I got if you come to my house, all the tapestry from the castle, I brought it with me, and they're all hanging in my house. And when everybody come to my house, they believe it's a museum. Oh my God, it's like a museum because they're huge tapestries. But I love them. And I don't know if you see that picture. Let me speak this way. I don't know if you can see that. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right
That
on.
paint is a person Dumont. I mean, I don't know if you know Copacabana Palace. Copacabana Palace is the number one hotel in Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, it's the number one. So it's like a Waldorf Astoria or better than that now. And when Waldorf Astoria was good, so every paint of Copacabana Palace is by him. So when he knew that they were doing the castle and the whole renovation, the tile of the castle, we have to bring it from France because there were certain tiles that has to be exactly. The glasses, they could not be painted. They have to be on a wood burner, and a wood burner so they can maintain the color inside. So we found a burner in Argentina. That was the only place. So we had to do a lot of things on that. So that painted, he gave it to me just for me to buy two more painted that he was going to do to the castle. So he gave it to me for free, but I had the other two painted. He sold me. Yeah, the guy sold me. So and I said, "Wow, I love that." Yeah, so I bought the other two. Yeah, so
Luis,
I think
please, Luis, can you show me the painting, please?
this
The
one.
one that you showed. Yeah, I didn't see it. Thank you so much. Oh, look at there.
Yeah,
Good job. Wow.
it's like a big impact of two of them crashing. You see all the pieces. Yeah,
Yeah. Like you see in
yeah.
medieval times.
Medieval
That's the
time.
closest we're getting to it.
So it is. That was something that I learned very well. I don't regret because I had a good time.
So
I
how
had
did you manage this property? You were in the US managing a property in Brazil?
um 1 week, Monday to Friday. 1 week. When I say 1 week, Monday to Friday, so people start thinking it's weekend. No, weekend no. Monday to Friday, Brazil. 3 weeks in US. 1 week in Brazil. 3 weeks in US. 1 week in Brazil. 3 weeks in US.
Wow.
for about 2.5 years or 3 years. That
Dang.
many flights, you become an executive platinum in American Airlines.
Fly anywhere.
Which is pretty amazing too. And
That's a lot of.
I went over the 1.5 million miles within those days.
So tell us about the seminars you're doing around the globe. Are you doing real estate seminars or business
No, something
seminars?
no, something that I'm doing August 28th is in Miami.
Okay.
I have 20 panelists, 20 speakers that are panelists, and the half of the day is going to be global trade, and the second half is going to be investment real estate. So let's say one panelist, you're going to have trade financing people. Another panelist, exporters, talking about experiences and things like this. And then in the afternoon, in the middle, it's gonna come the office of the mayor, the vice mayor of the Doral, one of the cities, gonna come in the afternoon. And then we're gonna start the real estate. So we're gonna have real estate investor, 4 panelists. We're gonna have different financing of real estate for investment in real estate. We're gonna have business providers. So they're all in panelists. It's only like 3 of them that they're gonna give the pitch, which is 20 minutes. And one of them is a family office, by the way. But we're gonna have some other two. Another one's gonna be an AI for real estate and mortgages underwriting, which is interesting. Not real estate multifamily, real estate people who sell real estate to qualification to get a loan. So the whole day is gonna be from 9 in the morning all the way to 5 p.m. and then networking 5 to 7 p.m. So that's at $85, including lunch, breakfast, and parking. We we the way that we structure that seminar is this way. Each panelist is paying $500 so we can offset the amount that we're losing for the entrance of the guests. So really the break even is $105, but we're charging only 85. So in reality, we're not making money, if we're making money, it's going to be like a $3,000-$4,000. It's not to break even. So the money that the panel is giving, it goes into the offset the money for the guests. You cannot get $85 lunch, breakfast, and parking and networking in a place. They charge you for everything.
Yeah.
They charge you for the
Alicia's
care. They charge
asking
you
how
for
to
Microsoft. They
find
charge you
out.
for everything.
How does people find out about that? Is there a link in the chat you can put in the
Yes,
chat?
there's a link. We're gonna start promoted like we're gonna start promoting like a very soft. So now by this Friday we should have the website already. That's gonna be the landing page. We do have a real like a little advertisement, but we're gonna have a landing page, and we also got together with the larger chamber of commerce of Doral, the largest chamber of commerce in South Florida, which is Doral. They have 44,000 emails contacts. So that's pretty big. So by next week, it's gonna be spread out. So that's August 28th. The other seminars that I do international, like El Salvador, is gonna be August 21. The Turkey, we're hoping that's gonna be October, but we don't know about the war, so we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe we move it for the next year. Those are more about trade financing, my other business. That's not related to real estate. That's my other business. Yeah.
All right,
But
let's see. We have a.
what I do
Go ahead.
at the end of the trade financing real estate, at the end of the trade finance, I'm incorporating like a half an hour, 1 hour curiosity to those guests who comes about what's going on in the United States with the real estate, just to capture investor. It's like giving a seed. So somebody, I want to invest. Yeah. So
Very
that
good.
might be the reason. Yeah. So I do
Right.
seminars outside. Last one was Chile, Argentina, Guatemala.
All right, let's see if any of our other guests. Stefan, do you have a questions for Luis?
Yeah, what's your next project, Mr. Castillo?
Real estate.
What is what? I'm sorry?
What's your next project?
Oh, and real estate.
And forgive me. You
Overall?
have I'm sorry?
Overall,
Yeah. Is it going to be
yeah,
RVs? Is it going to be, um,
He's moving toward RV parks, right?
yeah. I I I have different projects. I'm looking for, well, I'm with the RV, that's one. I'm gonna start writing already my second book. It's gonna be about the global trade and financing because there is no book about it. There is no book about that business, so people should know about it. Hopefully, it's gonna be a book that's gonna be in a university because it doesn't exist. So I'm writing a book that's gonna take like about a year, and also this year I decided to add agents into my company, and they make me busy. So we have like a 20 agent, very active, and they are the one who pushed me to do the event here in Miami. I didn't want it to do it, but so I'm growing the team. So those are my projects that keep me busy. Those three of them I think are the most important. The book to finish, the company, this one which is growing. The reason I'm growing that company is because I'm looking for a leader out of those people so they can take over the company. I'm pretty soon in 5 years, 8 years, I might have to go. Either that or retire. I don't know. But I'm looking for someone who can say, look, this company need to stay. It's pretty good, working fine. So I'm looking at a leader who can take over. That's what I'm looking for. So the only way to do that, you have to have a mass amount of people to come. Many is gonna quit, many gonna stay. But I think I have four of them, which is pretty good. We're working very close. Happen to be all of them ladies. Yeah,
oh,
so
And
that, yeah, ladies, they're controlling my business. They're controlling my business, and this is a business. It's a business. I mean, it's a suit, tie, elegant business. I mean, so when we go to these events that we have to go, like in Washington, different places. I mean, it's a high end. I mean, I'm working with a company that sells $300 million a year. I'm doing another one. We're closing 45 million dollars in meat that they're selling a year. So they're pretty good business, but they're hard to get. But I'm looking for leaders. That's my whole thing. I'm looking for leaders by teaching them. So in other words, my project, like a couple years ago, giving away all my secrets, giving away everything I know, and that's why I'm writing all the thing of the book. Yeah.
well, good
And
luck to
Luis,
you.
what is that business about? The one that you are recruiting leaders for?
Uh, Put it this way, they're different. I'll give you two examples. We just financed the largest crane in Panama. Is the crane that help using the tunneler to open the Panama the metro that's going to go under the Panama Canal. So we finance that crane. They have to pay the U.S. government in 5 years. So we are registered broker for the United States government. So we bring the deal and we make a huge commission. So usually a deal like that you make like a 60, 70, $80,000 commission. So, but we also another company that sell pharmaceutical. That company is in U.S. selling pharmaceutical all different parts of the world. So they're selling $16 million. So that company every year should renew the policy insurance because we mitigate the non-payment risk. Every time they renew it, we get paid. When we do a policy insurance with the United States government, like I want to sell for properties, tools, and equipment, stuff like this agent who brought this deal is $750,000 a month. If that company use that policy, not the financing, because we can also make money there, only the policy insurance, that agent is going to receive $800 a month every month. And if that money goes up, he receives more. So it's a residual income. You do the deal once. We teach the client how to use the platform of the government. They know how to do the report, anything else. When they have a problem, they call us. Sometimes clients, they call me only 2 times a year. So sometimes I feel bad and I talk to them the whole year. And they give me like a $34,000 every month. So that's, but the challenge of that business is to find the client. And I'm teaching my agents that the chances for you to find the client is going to be very hard. You always need someone to connect you with the client. Always. Never see the person you meet as a client. See them as a possible connection. Yeah, which is that's so they're learning on that. So that's a completely business, completely different, but still residual, like a passive income, like a real estate. So it's still like that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, I will buy books and next, so I will follow your steps a bit.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, sorry, you're breaking up, Javier. Say it again.
Yes, what about now?
Hmm?
Try it again.
Can you? Yeah, so I'm just saying that I will that one that he
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you type it? Can
You
you
might need,
type
you
it?
might need to move. Maybe you're in a part of the house that is very weak.
Yeah, or shut your video off and ask the question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see now. Can
Better.
you hear
Yeah.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So okay, so very quick. So no, Luis, I'm definitely going to buy your book because I'm learning how to make business because my mind frame yet is very illustrated about business, and for sure I will follow your steps on the next book. That's super interesting also. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Get my number there. Send me a text right there. My number is right there on my thing. Yeah, my other book's gonna take
305-992-7283.
my other book's gonna take like maybe a year. I mean, because I mean it's hard to put I want to put everything on my mind of this business because it doesn't exist in reality. Doesn't that
Okay.
if you Google this ECI financing, that's my business. Export credit agencies, export credit insurance. People talk about the World Bank. It likes the World Bank for business. You know the World Bank, people talk about it.
Yeah.
IMF,
Yep.
Monetary Fund,
Hmm.
International Monetary Fund, you know the IMF?
Yep.
It's like that one, but for business.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So,
it's something different. Yeah.
so
But only
just
40.
going back to real estate real quick, are there any real lessons like, with all those 5 mistakes that you made or you want to share, uh, how you came to make that list?
Yeah. This property that we're working on it right now, for example, one of the things that I think we did wrong, and we did not change the property manager that was doing bad very quick. I
Okay.
think we waited too long to change it. And that's why we went too far down on the occupancy. We're glad we had the reserve. We didn't have to put money. But when you see some weakness on a property manager, change it right away. Don't wait.
Mm.
About weakness, let it go. There are too many that can help you. And also learn that during the transition, you're always going to suffer a little bit. Not much, but a little bit, yes. But I
Yeah.
think that's one of the big stakes that we had there. Um,
Well, we found that with our 30-unit multifamily that we're GPs on, the stabilization period took way longer than we thought.
yeah. And you have to be aware that you have to know that that's going to happen from the beginning. You're lucky that doesn't happen.
That's true.
You're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's some other mistake I would say that um I mean I had some friends, I mean we were doing the devil advocate. I know that one of us, not to mention who, but one of us, he was too in love with the property. And sometimes they push so much because they're in love with the property. But you really need someone, you have to commit with your partner that the decision must be between the two of them, and two of them has to say yes. Because sometimes there's one is going to be stronger and he might want to convince you. But you have to tell the other partner this doesn't work. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, because sometimes it's gonna happen. I mean, nobody's perfect. That you will get in love with the property. It's gonna happen. If you underwriting like so many, you're gonna get in love with one of them. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. You're gonna love it. You're gonna see, oh, I like all this. Yeah. No, no. I mean, you have to go by the numbers. I mean, sometimes they say, well, what is the price? They tell me the new partner, the new student. I would say that when I was a student, but my new partner that's come. that is involved. He said, but what is the price? Who cares about the price? I'm looking for my price, not his price. Will you underwrite property without price? Of course, because it's my price. I want to put the number and I want to find out my price. I don't even want to know the price. I don't know why people say, what is the whisper price? Who cares? It's your price, right?
Doesn't work. It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
the
people
whisper
say, what's the
price
price?
is,
Who
right?
cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, most of the time it's not about the property. It's about the relation with the broker if you're looking for property. But sometimes you don't you get the price, you ask the broker, listen, Mr. Broker, according to my numbers, this is my number. And because of this. You know what broker tell me? Can you send me a screenshot so I can talk to my seller and maybe he can bring it down for yeah. I hope this gonna help you so you can sell it to someone else. At least to bring it down a little bit. Yeah, thank you. I will highly appreciate it. And those broker stay with me all the time. You send a screenshot, you help them out. Because remember, they want you, they want to bring your reason why it's lower so they become better if they lower the price from the seller because it's gonna faster for them to sell it. So you're really doing a favor. And now you're becoming a friend of the broker. You didn't get the property, but you got the broker, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people sometimes they have like a misconception of the goal. One of the one of the mistake that I see, and I wrote it in the book too, that people they go on a coaching and they haven't finished learning, but they're already looking for properties. What make you believe that you know if you want to finish your class? You have to underwrite property in California because you're never gonna buy property in California. So you don't get in love. Don't look property where you want to buy. You see, you look properly where you don't want to buy so you don't get in love, and you finish the course of learning. If the course of learning is 1 year, until your coach tells you, hey, you know how to underwrite now, go for it. Now you go to your place where you want to underwrite, and that's where you start looking for property. What people do by mistake, they're not even finished and they're already looking for the property they want to buy. What make you think you're gonna get the property? Wrong. They have the wrong goal. The first goal is to learn, the second goal is to find property. But you don't go with the first goal until you finish the second goal. Right? Yeah, the same thing what Warren Buffett said. People they're looking for multiple stream, but then I guess they didn't read the second part he said. You have to master the first stream of income. And then you go to the second stream of income. What people do, they go for different stream of income, but you diversifying your effort with no income. Doesn't make any sense. I think with the property, so they do. Yeah. So I think you have to, if you're gonna commit to learn, you gotta learn. Pay someone that you know and finish it, and then look for the property. Yeah. So that's what I think. Yeah. So I think that's some of the mistake that I've seen in students sometimes. Yeah.
Well, we just have a minute left. Is there any last words of wisdom you want to put in the your phone number's on the screen if anyone wants to connect to you? What's the best way?
Yeah. I think it's a screen also 992-7283, and let me put my email.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what it is. So you can call me there.
yeah.
If
Castillo at Royal State.
Restel investment. Oh, I put investment. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
I forgot the ME, right? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, the NT is there. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah. So I think it's the number one lesson just to finish it. You gotta get in love with the numbers.
Not the property, the numbers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, one broker one time said, "Okay, if you don't come here, we cannot accept your offer. You have to come look at the property." No, my property manager is gonna go look at the property. And he said, no, but we want the buyer to come. Are your units 5,500 square feet? He said, no. Well, that's where I live. I'm looking for a property similar or better than mine. So why would I have to see some property that I want to live in it? My property manager know my tenants. He's the one who have to see the property, not me. He accept me to go in. So yeah, so I don't care if the property is blue. If it can be rented as a blue one, it's fine.
Yeah.
So you get in love with the numbers, yeah.
We made that mistake early on. We were so eager to get into real estate that we just, oh yeah, that sounds good. We didn't even really run the numbers, which was dumb, but we
We all
learned a
did,
lot.
we all did that. The good thing is that sometimes you hold it for a long time, you're still winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the beauty about real estate. If it's a single family, you can hold it. Hold it and hold it, hold it, it's still gonna go up. It's like a Tesla. People that were crying Tesla going down. I bought some of them when it come down. So now it's up.
There you
It's
go.
like $100 per chair when I bought it. Yeah. You were complaining. So people are complaining and I said, no, it's opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, the market
Be
is pretty
greedy
much
when
moved back.
everybody's fearful.
Yeah. That's what Warren Buffett said.
Yep, he says that.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
sure does.
hey Chris, we're just wrapping it up, but thanks for joining late.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And Luis, thank you so much. We really
No,
appreciate
thank
your
you.
insight and your PowerPoint that you
Thank you.
put together.
No, thank you, Donna. Ken, you're doing an excellent job bringing people together, teaching. I mean, it's amazing. And I wish you and anything I can do. I mean, I'm here to help.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, Luis. All right,
Thank
I
you.
am going to stop the recording somehow. Stop the recording.